Welcome back to the podcast, The New and Experienced Investor. I'm one of your hosts, Alex Barnett.
And I'm Joe Holmes. I have over 40 years of experience. I'm a real estate broker, mentor, and investor.
And I'm the new guy. What do you want to talk about tonight, Joe? What are you thinking?
You know, I don't think there's anything going on right now from everything that we're doing. So let's talk about nothing. How's that sound?
Yeah, that sounds good.
So tell me, we're still doing our texting campaigns and all that stuff, and I don't see any deals coming through. So what's going on?
Yeah, apparently at the end of January, the carriers got together and basically said we've had it with these spam texts, just from every sector, not just real estate in general, but they pretty much they're pretty much putting it onto the carriers are putting it onto these texting platforms and basically saying if you send anything through, we're going to fine you. So they're really cracking down on their users. And so you have to be sure that the people are opting in to get the text. They don't really want any unsolicited text. So now if we're pushing out the numbers that we were before, our accounts are getting shut down and we're having to kind of scramble and turn off the campaigns and make sure we're not, missing prospects, and it's just kind of a big headache. So we've seen a lot of, slowdown in the lead generation, which is, kind of annoying. But then, it just trickles down into the pipelines, the deals, all that stuff. If you don't have leads, then you don't have a business.
And so that's why we have nothing to talk about.
That's why we have nothing to talk about, exactly.
So when you started texting campaigns, back years ago, how many texts were you sending out a month? Or I'm sorry, not a month, a day.
Yeah, a day. We were up to like 1,000, and then we went up to 1,500 texts, and now we're down to 300 texts a day per account.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And it seems to be okay at that point, and
yeah,
they're not flagging you.
They're not flagging it, exactly. And before you could put, you could kind of just reach out to the owner and say, are you looking to sell? Now you have to kind of dance around it because they have these certain keywords that will, trigger the carriers even more. So you kind of have to say, hey, I'm looking at 123 Main Street. What would it take? And they're like, what are you talking about? When before you could be like, hey, I'm looking at 123 Main Street. Or have you thought about selling, and get right to the point? Now you kind of have to dance around it. Plus you have to put an opt-out message.
Mm-hmm.
Press stop if you no longer want to receive these texts. So they know it's sort of a marketing campaign. It's not. Before we were approaching it as just a neighbor, which is always a nice way to do it. But now it's kind of, coming from a company. So they're not even responding at that point anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So,
what about cold calling?
Cold calling is still good. Cold calling, I think, is still tried and true. I think it's just going to be here, and especially with AI coming out, I'm sure they're going to come out with some sort of AI caller. But in the meantime, you can just hire somebody overseas to work for a little bit less. But yeah, it's still good. It's still a tried and true way to dig up leads.
Speaking of AI caller, I think I actually got one today.
Mm-hmm.
And, pick up the phone, hello. And the voice said, hi, my name is Evelyn. And is this Joe? I mean, they identified me by name and stuff. And Joe, and then I said, yes. And then there was a pause. And I think that's why you can always tell it's an AI.
Right.
There was a pause. And then she came back on and says, oh, great. I wanted to talk to you about medical insurance,
Oh, yeah.
And I go, oh. And, and I kept talking, and she just kept talking. So I knew at that point that it was an AI.
Yeah.
Normally I would just hang up, but I like listening to that stuff because, like you said, maybe that's the future.
Yeah.
Where we're headed.
Yeah.
So it's always good to listen to what other people are doing and stuff.
Yeah.
But anyways, I ended the conversation and then blocked the number.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, we've already implemented the AI into our systems, and it definitely helps. At least with the text, the little bit of, because we were messing with that, like how
Yeah.
quickly to respond,
Yeah.
because it'll be like we'll send a text and then you have to wait
Yeah.
and then it'll respond. So it's definitely missing that human element of the timing. It's
Yeah.
very robotic. So,
Yeah.
but it's going to be the future for sure, and who knows. Who knows how good they'll make it, but I'm sure it'll be undetectable at some point.
Yeah, pretty scary, that's going to happen. But I think you're correct. I think you're totally correct.
Hmm.
You know.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
and it helps because now, I mean, I think I have one VA on my account, and then we have our account, but the AI is fielding the people, and when I see
Mhm.
the response, I'm like, that's a decent response,
Mhm.
and it's pretty cool because you can go in there and write a prompt and just say, hey, you're very empathetic, don't be too excited, you're there to help the homeowner, and you give it this whole background story, and then it responds to the people, and it's pretty powerful. I feel like if we were able to send out 1,000 a day, it would be bringing us some decent leads. So that's the only thing kind of holding us back.
Mhm.
But there's going to be a workaround. It's always a song and dance, I guess, with regulations. That's why you don't really want to rely on just one sort of thing. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah. Absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah.
because there's ups and downs and changes in the industry and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So, anyways, something else that's not going on. I just finished taking possession of a property that I was foreclosing. I'm sorry, not foreclosing, evicting somebody out of for a client. And I had a text from the tenant on Sunday. They said, "We're out." Well, we've already gone through the process. We've got the eviction ordered, ready to go. The sheriff was ready to come out. But obviously, our goal is to get the property back. So I went over there Sunday and took possession of the property. To my surprise, it was pretty clean. There was some stuff that was left behind. There was some damage to, a couple of walls, some dings and stuff like that, which is really minor at this point. But talking about nothing, we have a property that we bought subject to, and we bought it with tenants. And so, what's going on with that property?
As far as I can tell, nothing.
So why are we at nothing with this
Right,
property?
right. Yeah, I mean, we said we were going to work with them, obviously, but we know that that's most likely a lie when they say, okay, we're going to do
Mhm.
something about it. And so you just said, just keep reaching out. And I reached out. I got ghosted pretty much. And then he texted me, it looked like 2 in the morning and 4 in the morning, saying that they're working on moving, finding a place. But I think that's just buying them more time.
Yeah,
So
they're doing nothing.
they're doing nothing. Yeah.
Yeah, they're doing that. They're right along with this podcast. They're
Right.
doing nothing.
Yeah. So I always like to believe people, but that's gotten me into hot water. So,
Yeah, yeah. And so
Joe's just like, just start the eviction.
when you called me and told me you had met with them and you didn't explain what I asked you to explain, which was the cash for keys process, the eviction process, and you had the paperwork there ready to go, but you walked away and
Couldn't do it.
said, "Yeah, I couldn't do it."
Yeah.
So hopefully that was a big lesson for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Okay, that you can't just not do
No.
nothing.
Exactly.
know.
Exactly.
You have to do something. And I told you from the beginning as well that they're not going to tell you the truth.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to try to prolong this.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think people, as tenants in that situation really start to wake up until you actually serve them
Mm-hmm.
a notice that they're going to get evicted.
Yeah.
Okay, either that or come up with a bunch of money, which they probably don't have anyways.
Yeah.
And this is a really unique. I shouldn't say unique. This is a normal situation. This house is worth about what, 550, somewhere around
Mm-hmm.
there, 525, 550. And what do you see outside parked? A brand new Corvette,
Yep.
a brand new motorhome.
Yep.
Okay, they got all these toys and stuff, but they couldn't pay the mortgage,
Yeah.
so they ended up losing, the house.
Brand new Harley as well.
Oh, brand new Harley. Yeah, it's like, okay, these people obviously have enough money or
Mm-hmm.
enough credit, that they buy all these things. Who knows if they pay cash? Probably not. But there it is. That's just another normal situation.
Yeah,
Nothing going on.
I know, and I was trying to use logic with them, which I don't think was the right approach because I was saying, the bank was going to take this away anyway.
Mm.
We came in and we basically stopped the foreclosure process, giving you extra time as it is. And he's like, just kept saying, well, just see what you can do, like maybe we could do a rent to own thing. And I
Mm.
was like, no, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And he's just like, just see, man, like God's looking down on you. He started using all this, and I'm like, I have the paper in my hand, and I'm
they
like,
always go
I'll
into
see what I
God.
can do.
Yeah.
And then I told Joe, I was like, I couldn't tell him anything, and he's like, all right, go back. And then I did try to go back, but he wasn't there.
Yeah, and then he's
they try to-
ghosting you and doesn't
Yeah,
answer, and
I know.
I think the last text that you got was that he was looking for a place to move to because not only is it him and his girlfriend in there, but I guess they have other boarders in there as well who are paying.
Yeah, that's what I
But
think. They're
what's going on? You're getting paid from other people, but you're still not paying your mortgage.
Yeah, exactly.
When were you going to wake up? When did you think that something was going to happen?
Yeah, they must have known it was going to happen for a while because it had defaulted 10 years ago, which is the crazy part.
Yeah.
So I don't get they just got away with it for that long.
Yeah.
And then it finally got down to the day. I mean, we talked to the actual owner 4 days before the auction, and they had given up. She said, "I'll give you the house. I don't even want it anymore."
Yeah, she was frustrated. She was absolutely. I mean, and the woman that's in there is her sister,
Mm-hmm.
and that's probably the frustration. And I
Yeah.
think she said her sister was, part time on drugs.
Right.
If you can do that, I don't know that you can do that.
Yeah, I don't think it's a part-time gig.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe some
whatever.
people can, but I don't know.
Yeah, and she said she had given her, millions of chances to make things right and pay the back interest payments and stuff, and she never did. So, like you said, she literally, and was that through a text or was that a cold
Yeah,
call?
that was a text.
Yeah.
That was one of ours.
That was one of the first ones that we started
Yeah.
recently, and we texted and. That she literally just you could kind of see her through the text and then the follow-up phone call. It's like she's throwing her hands up in the air going, take it, please take it. I don't want anything to do with it. Just take it.
Yeah.
Just take it.
Yeah. I know. And I think that's probably a good time to hit up the foreclosures, is when that looming auction date is right there.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, I'm sure. I mean, it looked like they pushed it out too, maybe one or two other times, and kind of. It seems like the lender was willing to work with them a little bit, and then at some point they're like, okay, they're not gonna do anything.
Yeah.
So it's just time. Yeah.
Yeah, and you ended up negotiating that second down,
Mm-hmm.
To a price where it actually made sense to take over this deal.
Yeah.
So which was good.
Yeah. I was pretty surprised. I learned a lot about that. Which, yeah, I think with the texting campaigns, now that they're gonna be sort of throttling the amount, we're gonna have to go for the most motivated people. When before it was sort of like we were just pulling absentee owners, any sort of absentee owners, and then we found this one person actually motivated. I think we need to maybe target the motivation, like, and really just hone in, niche it down, and then just focus on that. So that could be a good list.
So real estate, brokerage wise, listings and sales and stuff, there's nothing happening. I mean, it's pretty dead. It really is.
Crazy.
I mean, unless there's something on the market that has been totally rehabbed, that looks gorgeous, those are the ones that are getting attention. The other ones that are, way under market, whatever condition that they're in, are getting attention. But normal standard deals that are out there, there's nothing happening at all.
I've seen the days on market are just looking crazy now.
Yeah.
I mean, seeing stuff over 150 days is just like normal.
Yeah.
It's
But
weird.
what I don't see is I watch YouTube and I see a lot of these real estate gurus out there. The sky's going to fall and get ready for foreclosures. People are going to be losing their their properties left and right. I don't see a lot of that at all,
Mm.
and I think it's because our employment rate is really low. It's like 3.5, somewhere
Mhm.
around there. In California, it's 3.5. I'm kind of waiting to see what happens with the tech markets because we're like up in Northern California, very heavily involved with tech. And if these tech people start losing their jobs, and Twitter's a perfect example, they start losing their jobs. If they have houses, maybe they're going to get into the situation where they're going to be distressed
Right.
because they can't get a job right away. In California, we're a foreclosure state. So, literally, once the bank sends a notice of default, you have 3 months and 21 days to cure that. If you don't, they can evict you.
Mhm.
They can foreclose on you. I'm sorry, not evict you. That comes later, but they can foreclose on you right away. But again, there's nothing happening there. It really is. I keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a great source of, revenue and real estate here, helping those people out of their situations and buying these properties at a discount because, um, you know, last few years, you could have purchased something at 500,000 3 years ago that's worth 900 or a million. So it's gone up in value that much. We've backed down probably 10 to 15%
Yeah.
of that, but we're still not back to what this person purchased a home for.
Yeah.
And then obviously they put 20% down, so their loan's a little bit less. So it's not like there's going to be a fire sale on these things, but
Mhm.
there's going to be some people that are stressed out.
Stressed out,
Yeah.
and it'll be the time for, I think, more creative deals.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting a lot of leads right now for people that bought houses in 2021, put down the 20%, tried to turn them into Airbnb, so they dropped another 100 grand into it.
Mm.
And just because nothing's going on and nobody wants to, live it up vacation style, they're not getting the return that they thought they were going to get.
Yeah.
And so they don't know what to do because they know if they list it right now, it's just going to sit, or they're not going to, they're going to have to sell it for maybe what they bought it at before they put all the, bells and whistles into it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how to help
Any
those people.
any particular areas?
A lot in the desert, a lot of Yucca Valley, Joshua Tree, Landers, 29 Palms. That was just a crazy bubble, 2020, 2021, 2022, and just started dying at the end of 2022.
Yeah.
And now nobody's in there.
Yeah.
So I'm getting like they're nice properties too. They're really nice. It's just I don't think you can get the rates that they were getting
Right.
during the pandemic, and I think people just saw the pandemic return and then just went all in, and then now it's like nobody's going to the desert anymore. That's done
Yeah.
for now, and so they're just like, I don't know what to do, and so yeah, I'm seeing a lot of that.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So
And they're not doing nothing, or they're trying to get out from the
they're
hole that they dug.
they're trying to get out. They're saying you can take over my payments, but I want some sort of, they just want some sort of return to where they're not losing
Yeah,
any
nobody
money.
nobody wants to lose. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like and unfortunately, to this point, I've lost money in real estate one time in my life over the 40 years I've been doing this.
Wow.
Um, and so I kind of learned my lessons along the way that these things can happen, and to make sure that you're prepared, especially here in California. So you can't sit on the sidelines and do nothing. And the property I lost money on, it was a matter of either lose this amount or lose a lot more.
Mhm.
And so I ended up selling the property. It was a flip. It just took way too long to flip it, and I had a business partner at the time, and that's why we ended up losing, because we were in a 2022 January type of market where it was gangbusters. By the time we finished, the property was like September,
Right.
October, and then the market was going down, and then I was what we call chasing the market down. So I dropped the price down a little, Nothing happened. I dropped it a little bit more. Finally, I said, let me drop it down to where I know I'm going to start at least getting some offers. I did, and then sold it. But yeah, we lost some money on that property on that deal. So you
Still
can't
stings.
it still stings, but you can't sit back and
Yeah.
not do nothing.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like make up your mind. This is the situation you're in. Either keep the property and continue to lose money. If you don't, then you're going to have to do some heavy discounting to get that off your book, so to speak.
I mean, what's going to be the catalyst for getting things moving again? It's just stagnant right now.
Interest rates. That's
That's a
what's holding everybody back right
my
now. Interest
gosh.
rates, and you know, hopefully the economy and the job market stays good. I'm actually surprised that the lending industry hasn't jumped into this a little bit more. Last time, what happened was they started coming up with this creative financing of their own, no money down on these properties. There was a lender out there, um, back in um, 80s, no, I'm sorry, um, 2015, 16, around there, 14, was crazy. There was just like, you want to buy this property? We'll give you 110% loan. It's like you get 10% of this money back in your pocket if you buy this. It's like crazy. Oh, but we don't want to tell you this. Is like we're going to start you off with what we call a teaser rate, 2%.
God.
But then in a year it goes up to 9. And it's like
What could go
pretty
wrong?
much like everything else. Nobody reads anything anymore. Nobody's going to explain this to them. And sure enough, all these loans started blowing up.
Oh my gosh.
And it wasn't like they couldn't do anything. They had the banks had to do something, and so we ended up doing a lot of short sales, and the banks ended up losing money, which I'm not crying at all over.
Oh yeah.
Because the banks got plenty of money and they know what they're doing.
Mhm.
They're the professionals out there.
Yeah.
I would say they probably didn't lose a lot of money. There was a lot of consolidation and stuff like that, which individuals don't have the ability to do.
Mhm.
And the federal government was bailing them out left and right. Um, Nobody went to jail, but whatever.
Crazy.
That's another nothing happening
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it seems a lot harder to get, a loan right now. I mean, I don't think they're lending as much,
No,
you know.
no, not at all. Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess you just sit, wait, get ready. Stay
Yeah,
ready so you don't
that's
have to
what I
get
would
ready.
say. I mean, this is a good time if you're just starting in real estate, is to educate yourself on what it is that you want to do. There's so many different things that you can do. Purchasing, flipping, buying notes, creative financing, subject to deals. This is a perfect time to start learning about all that stuff, because when the market does have a more extreme downturn, which I think it will, I don't think we're going to get back to 2008 levels, but I think we're going to have a downturn. And you were talking about people that had purchased in 2021. That's
Mhm.
that's a perfect example. And
Mhm.
if they were purchasing, with 20% down, there's still equity there
Mhm.
available, and it might be a good property if you could take over, the existing loan subject to. You don't have to pull any money out of your pocket,
Yeah.
and if you can afford the payments, then that's a great way to buy a home for
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be an investment property. It can be, you know. So
I know. Yeah, where I'm getting one in Yucca Valley, 10 grand down. It's like a 2 point something percent interest rate. Just
mm,
gonna put a long term renter in there until maybe it starts picking back up as far as a short term rental. But I would be down to live in it, but it's out in the desert.
no,
That's the only problem. I'm not
yeah,
kidding. I'm not going out there.
no.
So,
I,
but
I,
we're
I
gonna
mean,
keep it.
I've been investing in Orange County pretty much my whole life, and people ask me, well, what if you go someplace else and stuff? And My son-in-law does Riverside, San Bernardino. I stick to Orange County. The prices here have gotten crazy, so I'm not doing a lot of business here in Orange County. But this is, what I know
Mm-hmm.
that makes me comfortable. And no, I'm not moving out to Yucca Valley or,
Yeah,
all those far places.
I
Yeah,
know.
no, thank you.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody
I mean,
needs.
I guess if I had nothing to do, okay.
I don't think so.
Uh,
Be more of a Palm Springs guy before
yeah,
Yucca Valley.
nah,
No? Okay.
nah, I don't like Palm Springs either. And I mean, I don't like Vegas that much either,
Right.
because
Yeah.
nice thing about California is I don't run into many people that smoke
Mm-hmm.
anymore, but Vegas still has that
Oh
smoking
yeah.
thing out there. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, no, no. And then, again, Palm Springs and yeah, no, that doesn't float my boat, you
Okay.
know. That's where I'd rather be on a cruise ship.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if I could
Nice.
live on there full time, that might
Oh.
be an option.
Okay.
Especially the last cruise ship I took was about a couple months ago, and I was pleasantly surprised that they had really fast internet.
Mm.
And so they had this little card on the table, and it said "Internet provided by Starlink."
Ooh. There
Yeah,
you
and
go.
it's like, okay.
Yeah.
So for me, with internet, you can do anything.
Yeah.
My phone connects to the internet. I can make phone calls
Yep.
from my phone anywhere in the world. I mean, I could literally be out in the middle of the ocean, and we're still talking about nothing here,
Yeah.
but I can be out in the middle of the ocean and I can make a phone call.
Hmm.
I mean, I could work from my laptop and stuff. So
Cruise ship condos.
cruise
Do they
ship,
have that?
yeah, they do.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw one advertised the other day. It was $1
Wow.
million
All right.
for like a 1,400 square foot cabin.
Hmm.
But I don't know if that included, port fees or
Right.
food
Okay.
or anything like that.
Hmm.
I would hope that it would,
Yeah.
but who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows
Interesting.
what it would cost? And yeah, buy one of those, and the itinerary is literally just go around the world.
Yeah.
Just hey, where are we stopping tomorrow? Well, we'll be in Beijing tomorrow. Like, okay, that sounds good. Huh?
And
Am I
then,
gonna get off?
yeah,
You
exactly.
know?
Eventually, you'd be like,
Yeah,
I've been there 3 times. I'm not getting off. And then,
yeah, yeah, exactly. We're gonna be in Cuba tomorrow.
yeah.
Okay, we're gonna
Oh
stop
my
in Ukraine.
god.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, I'll stay
Yeah,
on. I'll stay on board.
pass. So yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, I'm hoping you don't leave the mainland for a little while longer.
No, I don't plan on
Okay.
it. I don't
Good.
plan on it. No,
Good.
no.
Good.
I'd
All right.
rather do nothing here than
Yeah.
do nothing in the middle of the ocean where
Okay.
there's nothing to do sometimes.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. Well, we'll make something happen. Make something happen around here.
Well, I hope so. I hope we continue to do what we're doing and refine it because that's the name of the real estate game. You're always refining things, especially flipping. You start out and you do your first flip and you spent all this money, and then you start looking at what you spent money on, and you start saying, yeah, maybe I shouldn't use the heavy duty nails in this place.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I should just get the normal Home Depot nails instead of buying those heavy duty nails at
Yeah.
a more expensive shop. So you start looking at all your line items and you go, you know what? Next time I flip, I can do a lot better than I did the first time, which is usually a first time flipper's mistake.
Yeah.
You know,
There's a house in Seal that's sitting right now. The guy just timed it so bad. It's a flip, but the thing is, I mean, this is like his thing because I talked to the agent, and it's like this agent lists all this guy's flips. He's like, yeah, he always goes above and beyond on all of his
oh yeah,
flips.
geez, that's a typical real estate agent talking.
And
You
then, but
know,
now it's sitting there for
yeah,
so
yeah.
like it's the highest priced one and smallest square footage. It's like 800 square feet. It's right next to this huge apartment, the
Mm,
building, and so
yeah,
everyone's like, "Ooh, that's
yeah,
not gonna sell for a while."
yeah.
And then I think they just dropped it down to 1.6, and it's like
Wow.
it's still got to come way down.
Yeah.
Thinking like 1.3 or something.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but he was always he was like, he always goes above and beyond all of his
Of
flips.
course he does.
And I was like, oh, he's one of those guys.
I always go above and beyond.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
Always.
No, of course.
I always go above
Yeah.
and beyond.
Got to. You have to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, no, you could tell it's like, but then he didn't have a fence on the side. He went all out and then forgot like to put the fence on both sides, and that's what everyone's like complaining about when they do the walkthrough. They're like, "There's no privacy. There's no fence."
Yeah.
And so I don't know. It's like those little things.
Oh,
But he has a waterfall feature in the back.
it's nice that that's an easy fix. Just put a
yeah.
fence.
No, I know.
But he probably doesn't because he's put too much
That's
money
what I was
into
saying.
this property.
I was like, he's not gonna.
Like, I'm gonna do nothing.
Right.
Okay, which is again what we're talking about.
Exactly.
Nothing.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, that's probably a good way to.
Yeah,
probably a good way to end
so.
it. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Well, hopefully we'll have some more news on the next one, or possibly a guest. We're still working on all of our guests coming, and inspiring you guys to stay active, keep learning, and stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
I want to do one more thing. I do want to say one more thing, and hopefully this video gets out before April hits. There's something very important coming out on my YouTube channel in April that you can't miss. I'm not going to tell you what it is right now because we're talking about nothing, but this is something. So if you see this video before April, then make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, because in April, you're going to be totally amazed and shocked at the video that we put together. So make sure you watch out for that, and we'll see you next time. If you want some more advice on real estate investing, reach out to us one-on-one.